Chosen one, heaven has interrupted your timeline again. Everything around you pauses because something eternal is trying to reach you. This isn't random. The message you're hearing now was written into the fabric of your destiny long before you were born. You have felt it for months, that quiet stirring, that restless sense that something greater is calling your name. The truth is, heaven has been knocking, waiting for you to open. You stand in a divine moment where one act of obedience can unlock everything, but hesitation can close it all. According to what is written in Hebrews chapter 3, verse 15, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as you did in the rebellion. You hear it now, the voice of God cutting through the noise, whispering and warning all at once. This is that today, not tomorrow. Not after things feel safer, but now. Every time you delayed what God told you to do, something inside you grew quieter, heavier, colder. And heaven says enough. It's time to open your heart again before it hardens completely. You fought battles that others couldn't see, cried tears no one knew about, and yet deep within, your spirit kept whispering, there's more. You were not created for smallness. There's an assignment hovering over your life that hell has tried to bury under distraction, comfort, and fear. The enemy has studied your potential and designed specific traps just to keep you neutralized, busy but not fruitful, alive but not awake. But God is cutting through all that fog now, saying, open the door. Let me in. You've asked for confirmation, and here it is. This word is your sign, the same way the Israelites hardened their hearts in rebellion and lost the land promised to them. You are standing on your own threshold. The promise is near, but it requires obedience. Don't let pride, doubt, or routine steal your destiny. The Holy Spirit is pleading. Do not harden your heart again. Look around your life. Can't you feel it? Certain doors have been closing, not because God abandoned you, but because He's narrowing your path toward purpose. You've outgrown old environments. The friendships, habits, and distractions that once fit no longer feel right because the call has grown louder. You are being repositioned for divine use. But for that to happen, you must open completely. There is a weight to this moment. Heaven does not repeat itself endlessly. It offers seasons. And some seasons, once missed, never return in the same form. You can't afford to wait until you feel ready. The truth is, readiness comes through obedience, not before it. When you take one step, the next one appears. When you open your heart, heaven rushes in with everything you were afraid to lose. The Spirit of God is reminding you that what you are hearing right now is not just inspiration, it's an instruction. Don't treat it like background noise. This is a spiritual summons. You've been marked for something bigger, and heaven won't let you fade into normality. Your calling is too heavy to ignore, your destiny too sacred to gamble with hesitation. Chosen one, you are standing at the gate between what was and what could be. Every hesitation, every moment of procrastination is like closing that gate tighter. But the Lord is merciful. He stands knocking still. The same voice that spoke through prophets and apostles speaks to you now. Open. Don't turn away again. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Feel the pull in your chest. That's the Spirit urging you toward surrender. It's not punishment, it's protection. You've been praying for breakthrough, but God has been waiting for obedience. This is that crossroads moment where heaven watches your response. If you hear His voice in this message, respond with your spirit first, and then with your action. Don't scroll past it. Don't reason your way out of obedience. The Lord has chosen you not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to be transformed. Everything that's been delayed is waiting behind one door: obedience. Now is the time. Not later, not someday, today. If you hear his voice, open your heart, say yes, move, act, and as a prophetic sign that you've heard heaven's call, type the number 37 below. That number is your declaration, your agreement with divine timing. Like this message, share it, and subscribe so this voice of calling can keep reaching you. God is not far away. He's standing right at your door. Open now or lose what was meant for you. You felt the weight pressing on your chest, that invisible tension between what you show the world and what you hide in the quiet corners of your soul. Every time you tried to explain your exhaustion, words failed. Because the battle you've been fighting isn't visible, it's spiritual. It's not about people or money or opportunities slipping away. It's about the unseen war for your mind and peace. You've been bleeding internally while still smiling outwardly, pretending things are fine when your spirit has been crying for air. You didn't imagine it, the sudden heaviness that visits you at night, the restlessness that wakes you up without reason, the strange feeling that something is watching you whenever you start to pray or worship. These are not coincidences. You have been under attack, not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. Hell doesn't waste its weapons on the ordinary. You carry a light that agitates darkness, and every whisper of self-doubt is an arrow aimed at dimming that flame. There are seasons when God allows the hidden battle to surface, not to destroy you, but to expose what's been working behind the scenes. The tension you feel right now is revelation in motion. The enemy that once worked subtly is now being forced into the open because the Spirit of God inside you is increasing in power. The pressure is proof that you are advancing. The scriptures reveal this mystery in the letter to the Ephesians. Chapter 6, verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Read those words again and let them sink in. You have been misdiagnosing the source of your pain. It's not just circumstances, it's conflict between realms. Every delay, every false friend, every door that slammed shut was part of a larger attempt to make you surrender before the shift. But here's what hell didn't expect: you didn't give up. You may have bent, but you never broke. You are still here, still breathing, still capable of hearing heaven. You need to understand this: the battle you've been facing is not punishment. It's confirmation. Confirmation that your life is dangerous to darkness. The more you tried to retreat, the stronger the opposition became. Because the closer you get to breakthrough, the louder the resistance grows. The enemy fights hardest where God is about to move. And yet, amid the storm, heaven has been whispering strategy. Sometimes God doesn't calm the war outside because he's teaching you to command peace inside. Your authority doesn't come from escape, it comes from endurance. You are learning what it means to stand in the middle of chaos and remain unmoved. To look at fear and still declare, God is with me. There are people who betrayed you, situations that drained you, and losses that made you question whether you heard God right in the first place. But what you lost in comfort, you gained in discernment. Now you can recognize false peace from true presence. You've learned that not every open door is divine, and not every silence is absence. You are maturing spiritually, being trained like a soldier in the unseen army of heaven. When you understand this, the battlefield changes. You stop taking things personally. You begin to see that the rejection you faced was actually redirection. The isolation was an invitation to intimacy. The pain wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal your strength. The hand of God has been guiding even through what looked like loss. Every scar on your heart is evidence that you survived what was meant to silence you. Each scar now carries authority proof that your faith outlasted the attack. You are not merely surviving. You are being refined. Heaven is stripping away everything that doesn't align with the divine purpose written over your life. The refining process feels cruel only until you see the gold it reveals. Chosen one, your awareness is sharpening. You are starting to discern spirits, to sense shifts in atmosphere, to understand when peace leaves a room. That is not paranoia, it's awakening. God is training you to see beyond surface, to identify what's spiritual behind what looks natural. You are becoming dangerous to the enemy because you are learning to see truth. You are in the middle of transformation, and the pain of it is proof that the old self is dying. Every layer that breaks off brings you closer to clarity. The very war that once scared you is now confirming your authority. Don't despise this season, it's revealing who you truly are. You can feel it again, the gentle stirring that won't leave you alone. It happens when everything goes quiet, when the noise of the world fades and something deep inside begins to whisper. It's not imagination. It's not coincidence. It's the familiar pull of the one who's been calling you since the beginning. Heaven has been waiting for you to notice the sound of your own name echoing in the spirit. The scriptures remind us in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 27. My sheep listen to my voice, I know them, and they follow me. That verse isn't about religion, it's about recognition. You know that voice, it has rescued you from decisions that would have destroyed you. It's the same voice that whispered comfort when the world was cruel. It speaks softly but with authority. Every time you try to silence it, life grows confusing. Every time you follow it, peace returns. You are being trained to discern the divine frequency again, the one that cuts through fear, temptation, and doubt. You've been through enough betrayal and heartbreak to know that not every voice deserves your trust. Some sounded kind but pulled you away from your path. Others promised clarity but led you into chaos. And yet, through all of that, the true voice never stopped calling. That still, steady whisper has been waiting for your attention. It doesn't beg, it beckons. It doesn't force, it invites. Chosen one, God is not shouting to get your attention. He's speaking in a tone that only the surrendered can hear. When the world grows louder, the Spirit lowers his volume to see who will lean closer. That's how intimacy begins, not with noise, but with nearness. Every distraction you've been facing lately has one goal: to drown that voice out. Because if you hear clearly, you'll move differently. The moment you start listening again, alignment begins. You stop chasing temporary approval and start walking in eternal purpose. You begin to see that God's silence is never punishment, it's invitation. He doesn't go quiet because he's absent. He goes quiet so you can realize how much you need his sound. The enemy fears that moment of recognition, because once you know the sound of truth, you'll never fall for imitation again. You'll begin to discern lies even when they're wrapped in beauty. That's the power of divine hearing. It becomes impossible to be deceived. Think back for a moment. How many times did you sense something wasn't right, but you ignored it? How many warnings came before the pain, and yet God didn't withdraw his voice from you. Instead, he let the consequences teach you to listen more carefully. That's mercy. That's grace disguised as correction. Now, you're not the same person you were before. Your ears have been refined. Heaven is saying, this is the moment to tune your spirit again. The static around your heart, the fear, the guilt, the noise it's clearing. You're about to hear instructions again. The very guidance you've been begging for is about to arrive. Not through thunder or dreams, but through stillness. So stop rushing. Slow down. Listen. The next direction for your life is being whispered right now, beneath the surface of thought. You don't need to force it. You just need to acknowledge it. And when you do, respond not to me, but to the one speaking through this moment. Write these words in the comments as your declaration speak. I'm listening. It's not just a phrase, it's surrender in motion. When you type those 3 words, you're telling heaven, I'm ready to hear again. I won't let fear silence me. Every time someone declares it, the spiritual atmosphere shifts. Angels record the agreement. The heart opens. The static clears. Speak. I'm listening. Those words are how destinies begin again. They are your yes, your open door, your return to sensitivity. Say them with faith. Whisper them aloud. Type them as a prophetic act that seals this moment in eternity. Because the voice that formed galaxies is calling your name, and this time, you are ready to hear. The moment you truly listen, creation responds, heaven adjusts its rhythm to your obedience, and unseen things start to align around your yes. Listening isn't weakness, it's divine authority learning to breathe. When you hear him, confusion loses its voice. Every storm that once terrified you begins to bow. Peace is not the absence of battle, it's the presence of clarity within warfare. Each time you listen, heaven writes, your obedience becomes language angels understand. A signal that another chosen one has awakened, ready to walk in light and silence the darkness forever. There comes a moment when revelation moves from words into awareness, when what you once believed becomes what you now know. You are in that moment. The voice that once felt distant has become familiar, and the silence that used to feel heavy now feels holy. You're beginning to understand that the divine doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it simply waits for you to catch up. The stillness that surrounds you is not absence, it's instruction. Every chosen one reaches a point where faith is no longer proven by excitement but by endurance. You've prayed, fasted, and believed, yet the outcome didn't match your expectation. You began to wonder, did I hear wrong? Did I fail somehow? But heaven whispers, you didn't fail. You're being refined. What feels like delay is often divine development. God hides what he's building until it's ready to be revealed. And sometimes that includes you. When God is silent, it's not rejection, it's construction. He's rebuilding your foundation, ensuring that when blessings come, they don't collapse under the weight of your calling. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every not yet is part of a pattern designed to strengthen you for what's next. Heaven's timing may feel cruel, but it is kindness disguised as patience. The scriptures affirm this in the first letter of Peter, chapter 1, verse 7. These trials have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. That verse isn't poetic, it's prophetic. You are in the furnace of formation, where everything unworthy of your destiny burns away. Fire doesn't destroy gold, it defines it. Likewise, these trials are not meant to break you, but to reveal what cannot be burned out of you. You're being separated from imitation strength and being filled with authentic resilience. There is purpose even in your waiting. When you think nothing is moving, heaven is arranging everything behind the scenes. You've been asking for open doors, but sometimes God delays access because he's still training your hands to carry what's coming. If he gave it too soon, you'd misinterpret the blessing as the destination instead of the beginning. God withholds to preserve, not to punish. You may not see it now, but the hidden season is a mercy. God isolates before he elevates. He hides the anointed until it's safe to reveal them. There are eyes that shouldn't see you yet. People who would drain what you've been cultivating in secret. So he keeps you in shadows, not because he forgot you, but because he's perfecting what he plans to display. This silence, this slowness, it's sacred. In it, you learn to hear differently. You learn that the absence of noise is the birthplace of discernment. You begin to recognize divine timing not by doors that open, but by peace that remains. Every time you choose patience over panic, heaven smiles. Every time you stay faithful in quiet places, your authority expands in unseen ones. Chosen one, you are not behind schedule. You are right on time. The delay you despise is the proof of your distinction. Ordinary paths move quickly because they require no depth. But the chosen walk deep roads where roots grow before fruit appears. You may look still, but growth is happening beneath the surface. This is the season of quiet obedience. Not everything God tells you will make sense to others. You'll be misunderstood, questioned, even mocked. Let them talk. Their disbelief is not your direction. What matters is that you keep listening, keep trusting, and keep walking. Your validation comes from the one who called you, not from those who watched you. There will come a moment when the silence breaks, when heaven releases what it's been forming. When that moment comes, you'll realize it was worth every tear, every lonely prayer, every delay. The pain will make sense. The timing will feel perfect, and you'll understand that while you thought you were waiting on God, He was really waiting on you to grow, to trust, to listen, to be still. So don't rush this season, let it finish its work. The silence is not the end of the story, it's the chapter where faith learns to breathe without proof. When silence stretches longer than your understanding, don't curse it, cherish it. It's the sacred classroom where heaven teaches you fluent trust, where unseen answers form before they ever reach your sight. In that quiet, your spirit learns rhythm, not of haste, but of harmony, where patience becomes praise and waiting becomes worship. The breaking always comes before the building. The light always follows the night. You've walked through seasons that stripped you of almost everything familiar. Yet somehow, something inside refused to die. That spark, that quiet insistence to keep breathing, to keep believing, that is heaven's evidence that you were never abandoned. Every fragment of pain has been woven into a masterpiece you cannot yet see. You are learning that being chosen is not about status, but surrender. It's about letting the old self collapse so the true one can finally stand. You've prayed for new beginnings, but beginnings always require endings. The shedding you've been feeling lately isn't loss, it's liberation. God isn't taking from you, He's making space for what's coming. The scriptures speak this truth through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3. To bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Do you see it? Even the ashes are not wasted, and the moments that burned you now become the soil where beauty grows. Every disappointment that felt like ruin was actually resurrection rehearsing itself. God never leaves endings unredeemed. He writes resurrection into the ruins. You have been walking through a divine exchange, and the trade is nearly complete. The weight of the past is falling away, and the new garment of glory is being placed upon your shoulders. You've been in the wilderness long enough. You've cried enough. You've waited enough. The silence that once felt endless is breaking, and heaven is whispering, "Step forward, it's time." But the stepping forward isn't loud, it's gentle. It doesn't require shouting or striving. It's a quiet choice that happens inside your heart, the choice to keep shining even when the world has gone dim. The choice to live as if light has already won, because it has. Chosen one. Your endurance has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has been watching your quiet faithfulness, the times you helped when no one saw, forgave when no one thanked you, loved when no one returned it. That kind of faith shakes the unseen realm. That's what marks you as chosen. Now you are standing at the threshold of your next assignment. Not the glamorous one the world applauds, but the sacred one heaven cherishes to carry light wherever you go. The stage doesn't matter, the obedience does. And when you do, your very existence becomes an altar, your daily actions a song. It's in this moment, right here, that you decide how to walk forward. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to prove it. Just choose it. Choose to let your soul become a lamp. Choose to live in such a way that your presence reminds others they are not forgotten. That's how you change the atmosphere without noise, without force, just with light. And if this message has found its way into your heart, let that be your confirmation that you're being called into deeper alignment. Not because you owe anything, but because you were always meant to shine. When you feel the warmth of these words stirring in your chest, that's heaven touching your spirit, reminding you that you still matter. If the light within you feels ready to rise again, let it. Don't hide it this time. Let it spill through your words, through your kindness, through your courage. Let it move like morning sunlight reaching windows it's never touched before, quietly lighting other hearts. That is what it means to share. If you felt this flame flicker alive again, cradle it tenderly. Let your reflection linger here for a moment, as though leaving a small spark behind, a silent gesture of connection. That is what it means to like. And when you're ready to walk onward, carry this light wherever you go. Returning often to refill your lamp, that is what it means to subscribe. So when this moment ends and you close your eyes for a second, let your heart do something symbolic. If what you've heard today resonated with the deepest part of you, gently pass the flame forward. Whisper to yourself, "Let my light reach another." That is the purest kind of sharing when it comes from love, not duty. And if you feel the echo of this word moving through you, don't silence it. Let your light travel where mine ends. Let it find another weary soul who needs to remember hope still lives. That, my friend, is how heaven multiplies miracles through hearts that refuse to let truth stay hidden. Because this isn't just a message, it's a meeting between your light and mine. And every meeting of light deserves to continue. You can sense it, the shift. The atmosphere around you feels different, doesn't it? It's as if heaven is rearranging the pieces of your life while you stand still. Doors you once knocked on are closing quietly. But new ones, doors you didn't even know existed, are beginning to open with divine precision. You are stepping into a transition, a sacred handoff between what was and what will be. The old season is expiring, not because you failed it, but because you finished it. What once fit now feels too small. What once comforted now constrains. You've outgrown your former version. The same spirit that led you through deserts is now leading you toward the unknown, whispering, "Don't fear it, walk in it." The scriptures declare this mystery in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." God is not recycling your past. He's rewriting your future. The new thing He is doing cannot be compared to what was before. It's unprecedented. That's why it feels unfamiliar. You've never been here, and that's exactly how it should feel. Every time you step into a divine shift, your flesh trembles, but your spirit rejoices. You sense fear and excitement at the same time, because your destiny is expanding, and expansion always stretches what is comfortable. You are in the space between instruction and fulfillment, the fragile moment where faith is tested. It's here that many turn back. Not because they don't believe in God, but because they no longer recognize themselves. You are not who you were, and that's the point. The old you was never built to carry the weight of what's next. This is where trust becomes more than a word. You can't see the full map, only the next step, and that's enough. Because when you move in obedience, heaven adjusts everything around you. Angels are already going ahead, preparing divine alignments you can't yet see. The delays that frustrated you are turning into direction. The losses that broke you are becoming language. Your testimony will speak where your tears once fell. Don't fear the unfamiliar path. The wilderness is not a punishment, it's proof of calling. God doesn't test the unchosen, He trains the chosen. The silence, the uncertainty, the stripping, all of it was designed to refine your discernment so that when the new door opens, you'll recognize His fingerprint upon it. And that door is opening now. You may not hear the hinges move, but you can feel it. The atmosphere around you is charged with promise. Every time your heart beats faster as you read these words, it's heaven confirming you are next. Yet before you step forward, heaven asks for one more act of alignment, a simple sign of recognition, a prophetic agreement between your spirit and God's timing. In this moment, as you read, let your response be sacred. Type the number 8808 in the comments, not because it's magic, but because it's meaning. 8 is the number of new beginnings. And this triple sequence represents divine multiplication. What God starts in you now will expand beyond you. It's your symbolic yes to the shift, your silent declaration that you're ready for the new thing to spring forth. When you type it, you're not just pressing numbers, you're marking a covenant moment. You're telling heaven, I see it, I perceive it, I won't resist it anymore. Even if you don't understand all the details, your obedience will unlock clarity as you move. The door responds not to knowledge, but to faith. When you release 888, you're echoing creation's rhythm. The first 8 represents ending and renewal. What has died now makes room for life. The second 8 represents overflow. What God plants in you multiplies beyond your reach, The third 8 represents eternity touching time. The cycle of completion meeting divine continuation. Together they form an infinite loop of grace that never runs dry. It's not about numbers, it's about remembrance, about telling heaven, I remember who I am, chosen one. Don't underestimate this moment. You are standing at the border of destiny. What you do now echoes far beyond this screen. You are aligning with a future that heaven has already prepared, and your agreement today is what activates it. The shift has already begun. You can feel it under your skin, in your breath, in your bone. What's ahead won't look like what's behind. You'll walk lighter, see clearer, love deeper. This is not just another chapter, it's a rebirth. So breathe in deeply. Feel the wind of change moving through your spirit. Say yes quietly, but say it fully. Heaven is writing your story again, and this time, you won't have to chase what's yours. It will recognize you when you arrive. There comes a point on every chosen path when the weight of the calling begins to reveal its true cost. You've felt it recently, the heaviness that doesn't come from exhaustion alone, but from awareness. The more light you carry, the more it demands of you. The closer you draw to destiny, the clearer you see what it actually requires. Being chosen is glorious, but it's not gentle. It strips before it crowns, it empties before it fills. This is the season where your mantle begins to settle upon you. You can feel its weight even when no one else can. It's invisible to human eyes, but in the spirit it shines with divine authority. That's why the pressure has increased, not because you're losing favor, but because heaven is stretching your capacity to carry it. The scriptures speak about this hidden reality in the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded, and from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. Those words don't sound comforting at first. They sound like burden. But look closer. Inside them is the language of trust. God does not place heavy mantles on fragile shoulders. If He has allowed you to feel this weight, it means He sees endurance in you that even you have not yet discovered. Heaven only stretches those it plans to strengthen. Every calling carries a cross before it carries a crown. And though you might wish the process could be easier, the truth is that the pressure you feel is proof that your anointing is growing. The moments when you've wanted to walk away were the same moments heaven whispered, "Don't. I'm building something inside you that can't break." You've likely noticed how certain people have drifted away. Some simply couldn't walk at your pace. Others couldn't breathe at your altitude. The higher you rise, the thinner the air becomes, and not everyone is assigned to breathe that deep. Their departure isn't rejection, it's divine rearrangement. You're being lifted into isolation not to punish you, but to purify you. Solitude is the workshop of mantles. In the quiet, you are being rewired. Your impulses, once driven by emotion, are being reformed into discernment. You are learning that not every opportunity is an open door, and not every compliment is confirmation. God is teaching you the discipline of restraint, how to move with precision instead of reaction. When you carry a mantle, your movements matter. Every word you speak, every silence you keep, every choice you make begins to carry consequence. The anointing amplifies everything it touches. That's why heaven is refining your character right now, so that when influence comes, it doesn't corrupt you. The mantle magnifies both weakness and strength. God wants only the latter to remain. There are nights when the burden feels too heavy, when you whisper to yourself, "Why me?" But heaven answers, "Because you can. You were designed for this." Every struggle that once broke others became training for you. Every disappointment that others called failure became foundation under your feet. You carry histories of survival that qualify you for leadership. The weight of the mantle is not just spiritual, it's emotional, mental, and physical. Sometimes it feels like the air changes when you enter a room. People look at you differently without knowing why. Some are drawn, others are unsettled. That's what happens when the unseen authority of heaven rests upon a person. It commands attention even when you remain silent. And yet, this authority is not for dominance, it's for service. The true power of the mantle is measured not by how many people stand beneath you, but by how many rise because of you. Leadership in the kingdom is not about being elevated, it's about being emptied for the sake of others. That's why humility is your armor. Without it, power becomes poison. This is the stage where your calling begins to separate you permanently from imitation purpose. You are no longer in the preparation stage. You're entering activation. Every word you've spoken in faith, every private prayer whispered in pain, they are converging now into manifestation. Heaven has taken note of your perseverance, and it will not go unrewarded. So if the weight feels unbearable at times, remember this truth: mantles are heavy only when they're new. Once you grow into them, they become wings. And those who once crawled beneath their burden will soon find themselves soaring because of it. The pressure you feel today is shaping the strength you'll carry tomorrow. Breathe. Adjust your shoulders. The mantle fits. You've been chosen not just to survive it, but to reveal what glory looks like when it wears humility as its crown. The light that grows within you never rises unopposed. The moment your awareness expands, shadows grow restless. It's one of the first lessons every chosen one must learn. Elevation always awakens resistance. You've begun to feel it, the subtle pushback that doesn't come from people, but from the atmosphere itself. What once flowed easily now feels contested. What once felt calm now feels charged. It isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. The enemy recognizes what you carry, even before you fully do. You are walking through a war invisible to the natural eye. It doesn't take place on battlefields, but in thoughts, emotions, and decisions. The moment you chose obedience, you declared war without realizing it. Darkness always tests those who threaten its dominion. That's why confusion suddenly intensifies right after clarity arrives. That's why unexpected discouragement appears after breakthrough moments. The opposition isn't random, it's reactive. Your presence disrupts systems of fear that have operated unchecked for years. The scriptures make this truth plain in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. That warning isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to awaken you. Awareness is defense. When you understand the nature of the resistance, you stop misreading it. You stop taking attacks personally. You start seeing through them. Every sudden wave of doubt is simply a flare from the enemy's panic, a desperate attempt to make you retreat from territory you've already claimed. The battle intensifies not because you're failing, but because you're advancing. Darkness doesn't chase what isn't moving. The fact that you feel pressure means you're pushing boundaries. You're disturbing the comfort of hell by existing in obedience. And though the attacks feel personal, they're strategic. The adversary isn't threatened by who you were. He's terrified of who you're becoming. But here's the paradox: while the enemy roars, heaven remains calm. The sound of chaos below doesn't reach the throne above. God is not pacing, worried about the war around you. He's already written your victory into its fabric. What looks like struggle is actually training. You're learning spiritual posture, how to stand firm, not react. Faith is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to stay grounded despite it. The resistance you face is strengthening unseen muscles, endurance, discernment, spiritual vision. Every time you refuse to respond in panic, those muscles grow. You're becoming unshakable. That's the secret of the chosen, not that they avoid warfare, but that warfare teaches them rhythm. When storms hit, you're not meant to fight the wind. You're meant to anchor deeper. The deeper your roots, the less the storm can uproot you. That's what this season is about: root work. Heaven is fortifying your foundation, ensuring that no matter how fierce the noise becomes, your peace remains immovable. Notice how the resistance has pattern. It often arrives right after you take a step of faith, right after you forgive, right after you release something toxic. And that's not random timing, that's reaction. You have disrupted darkness, and now it's trying to distract you into self-doubt. The enemy's loudest weapon is noise accusation. Fear, exhaustion, but noise only has power if you listen. There is a moment, though, when you'll begin to hear another sound: the stillness beneath the storm. That stillness isn't empty. It's filled with God's presence. Once you hear it, nothing else can move you. The storm still swirls, but your heart stays steady. That's victory, not the absence of battle, but the ability to stay peaceful within it. Your growth has shifted the atmosphere permanently. What once intimidated you now annoys you. You can sense deception faster. You can smell false peace before it traps you. That's spiritual maturity. You're not naive anymore. You've become aware of how spiritual environments shift with your presence. The enemy trembles when you wake up each morning because you now recognize what he's been hiding. The resistance you're feeling is the proof of movement. It's not punishment, it's propulsion. Every strike against you becomes the wind that lifts you higher. What was meant to crush your spirit is actually confirming your authority. The opposition is necessary. It proves the oil on your life is real. So, stand tall. Don't waste your energy cursing the attack. Thank God for the revelation that comes through it. Every roar loses volume the moment you stop reacting. Every lie loses power the second you stand in truth. You are not fragile, you are fortified. This battle will not end in exhaustion, it will end in glory. The resistance will fade, the warfare will quiet, and what will remain is not fear, but fire. You are being refined into something that hell can't counterfeit: unbending light. You've reached the place where surrender no longer feels like loss, it feels like relief. The war around you has quieted just enough for you to realize that the loudest battle was never external. It was within. The battlefield of the mind is where victory is decided long before it manifests in the world. You're beginning to understand that your greatest weapon was never force, but stillness. You have learned to stand in storms without losing your balance. Every wave that tried to drown you has now become part of your rhythm. The strength you carry doesn't roar, it resonates. And that's what unsettles darkness most. Not your volume, but your calm. The authority of peace is greater than the intimidation of fear. The scriptures confirm this mystery in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That's not an invitation to inactivity. It's a summons to alignment. Rest is not the absence of movement, it's movement without resistance. It's when your heart stops striving and starts trusting. God isn't asking you to stop, He's asking you to sink. You are entering a stage where your steps match heaven's rhythm, and that harmony becomes your warfare. This is the art of divine surrender. It's not collapse, it's clarity. It's realizing that the same God who built galaxies is perfectly capable of holding your story together. You don't need to fix everything. You only need to yield. Because what you let go of in faith doesn't fall, it flies. Surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. You've tried control and it broke you. You've tried running and it drained you. But when you stopped fighting against divine timing, you discovered something sacred. Peace wasn't missing. It was waiting. You were just too busy holding on to what you were meant to release. You're learning that freedom often looks like open hands, and open hands are easier to bless. Heaven pours where there's space, and surrender creates space. That's why you feel both empty and full at once, emptied of burden, yet filled with presence. The exchange is happening right now. There's a softness growing inside you, a gentleness that only warriors who've survived many battles can carry. You no longer need to prove your strength by resistance. Your peace proves it. The one who can stay still while chaos moves is no longer controlled by it. You've reached the point where storms don't shake you, they reveal you. Chosen one. What was once your battlefield has now become your altar. The pain that once weakened you is now the place of communion. You've learned how to meet God in the same places that tried to break you. That is spiritual maturity, not avoiding struggle, but transforming it into worship. Now, as this word finds you, let your heart respond not out of obligation, but recognition. You know this voice. You've heard it before in moments of surrender, when peace wrapped around you like light. Let that same peace fill the room you're in right now. If you can feel the release in your chest, the lifting in your spirit, the stillness that comes when you finally stop resisting, then let your agreement echo into this moment. Comment the words, I release. Say them as an act of freedom, not defeat. When you write those two words, you're not giving up, you're giving back. You're returning what was never yours to carry. You're saying to heaven, I no longer hold what holds me. Each letter you type becomes a declaration that the war inside has ended and peace has taken its place. I release. Those words will linger long after you close this page. They'll echo in your spirit every time old fear tries to visit. They'll remind you that surrender is your superpower, that peace is your armor. So breathe. Let go. Rest. The battle is no longer yours, it never was. You will notice that release is not a single act, but a rhythm, each breath letting go a little more of what you once clutched too tightly. The freer your hands, the fuller your heart becomes. When you live released, gratitude grows naturally. You stop demanding and start receiving. Life becomes less about control and more about communion. And in that sacred stillness, power returns, not the power to dominate, but to discern, to walk in quiet confidence, certain that grace will always outrun grief. Peace settles like dawn upon a quiet sea, soft, unhurried, certain. What once screamed now whispers, and what once weighed you down now lifts you toward light you finally trust. There is a sacred stillness that comes after surrender, a peace that feels almost otherworldly. It doesn't shout, it hums quietly beneath your ribs. That's where you are now. The war has quieted. The inner storm has faded, and for the first time in a long time, you can hear your own heartbeat without fear. It sounds like freedom. You've walked through fire, and the flames did not consume you. You've stood in silence and learned to interpret it not as abandonment, but as presence. You've matured into someone who doesn't need to see the whole road before taking the next step. That's transformation. That's grace becoming muscle, faith becoming form. The scriptures remind us in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone. The new is here. Those words don't simply describe salvation, they describe awakening. The old patterns have fallen away. You don't think the same, react the same, or love the same. The light in you has deepened. You now carry the quiet confidence of someone who has survived storms without bitterness. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of pain, it's the presence of perspective. This is where gratitude starts to bloom naturally, like wildflowers after rain. You no longer chase blessings, they find you because your heart has become good soil. Heaven trusts you now with what it once withheld. You can hold miracles gently because you finally understand they were never meant to be possessed, only passed through you. Your story has become a lamp for others. Somewhere, someone is watching your endurance and realizing that they can keep going too. You may never know their names, but your obedience has already begun to echo. That's the beauty of divine alignment, it multiplies quietly. Chosen one, this is your season of clarity. You can see patterns you once ignored, feel guidance you once doubted, sense timing you once rushed. You're no longer chasing purpose, you're walking in it. There's a rhythm in your spirit now, a gentle alignment between heaven's heartbeat and your own. And in this holy balance, a question arises: what will you do with this peace? Because peace is not an ending. It's a beginning in disguise. Every new dawn asks for participation. Every flame longs to spread. If these words feel like warmth spreading across your spirit, let that warmth move. Let it ripple outward like sunlight, climbing over rooftops, reaching hearts that haven't yet remembered hope. That's what it means to share. You don't need to push it. Just let your light travel naturally, the way morning does. And if your spirit feels at rest here, If this space has become a small well in your desert, let your reflection linger just a moment longer, the way light lingers on still water. That's what it means to like. It's not transaction, it's acknowledgement. A silent nod that says, "This touched me." When you feel the need to return, to sit again where the words meet your soul, follow the thread of light back to this quiet corner. That is what it means to subscribe, not obligation, but belonging. The act itself becomes symbolic, returning to where your spirit remembers peace. You see, support in this sacred space isn't about numbers or noise, it's about continuity. Each time a soul connects with a message like this, a bridge forms in the unseen world. And bridges of light are what this weary world needs most. So as you stand at the edge of this new peace, take a deep breath. Feel the calm filling your chest like morning air. You don't have to force anything. Just exist fully in this moment. Every time you breathe, you become proof that surrender leads to life, not loss. If your eyes soften as you read, if your shoulders finally loosen, that's heaven confirming you are home in your spirit. Let that awareness be your offering today. Stay in the glow a little longer. Let this calm accompany you back into your world, where you'll quietly spread what you've received. And remember, light that rests doesn't fade, it deepens. Light is never wasted, it travels even when unseen. The glow you carry now will find its way into eyes that forgot how to look upward. That's how hope migrates quietly, faithfully. Each gentle act becomes an echo in eternity. A word, a glance, a silent prayer, all are seeds falling into time, destined to bloom where despair once grew. And someday, when someone else finds peace through your light, you'll understand you were never just receiving. You were becoming the message all along. There is a holiness to waiting that few ever understand. You've stepped out of warfare and into stillness. But now comes another kind of challenge, the quiet between revelation and realization. This is the interval where heaven measures patience, where faith learns to breathe without the adrenaline of battle. It feels calm, but it isn't empty. The silence that surrounds you now is heavy with hidden purpose. You are learning that movement doesn't always mean progress, and stillness doesn't always mean delay. There are seasons when God does his best work beneath the surface, where roots grow unseen before branches touch light. The invisible season is sacred because it teaches you to trust the unseen hand that is still arranging your story. The scriptures whisper this wisdom in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Those words are both comfort and command. Be still, not idle, not indifferent. Still as in anchored, unshaken, aware. It means choosing peace when circumstances demand panic. It means watching others run ahead without envying their pace. Stillness is not surrendering progress. It's surrendering control. You've begun to see how time in God's hands is not an obstacle but an instrument. What he delays, he develops. What he withholds, he perfects. There are things he hasn't revealed yet, not because you're unworthy, but because you're not ready to carry their weight. Timing is mercy disguised as mystery. Waiting seasons feel lonely because they strip away distractions. When activity fades, awareness intensifies. When you start hearing yourself again, your doubts, your hopes, your motives. It's uncomfortable, but that self-confrontation is necessary. God uses stillness as a mirror, showing you where your trust truly rests. Are you anchored in outcome or in him? This season tests your posture more than your pace. Can you stay faithful when nothing seems to be happening? Can you hold gratitude when prayers remain unanswered? That's where authenticity is born. Faith that thrives only on visible results isn't faith, it's transaction. But faith that breathes through silence, that sings while waiting, that stays, that is intimacy. You've walked far enough now to know that rushing doesn't speed up destiny, it distorts it. Every shortcut carries a hidden cost. The things built in haste often crumble just as quickly. But what's formed in patience lasts, because it's rooted in peace. Heaven crafts eternal things slowly, so must you. You may look around and see others racing ahead, new jobs, relationships, opportunities, and wonder why your road feels paused. Don't mistake divine precision for stagnation. You're not late, you're layered. God is adding depth where others are chasing distance. Your story is being built for longevity, not spectacle. The longer you wait, the clearer your hearing becomes. You start discerning what truly matters. You realize how much noise you once called guidance. The silence becomes sanctuary, not prison. And in that stillness, something subtle begins to happen. You start recognizing the voice of peace as the true sound of progress. Each day of patience adds weight to your wisdom. You begin to see how everything is connected, the disappointments that redirected you, the detours that preserved you, the slow pace that matured you. All of it forming a map of grace, intricate, precise, deliberate. Chosen one, heaven hasn't forgotten your prayer. The answer isn't missing, it's maturing. You're being aligned, not ignored. Every closed door has been a gentle hand steering you toward the right one. And when that door opens, it will not require striving, it will recognize your readiness. This waiting season is refining your perspective. You no longer see delay as denial. You've learned to breathe differently, to walk without hurry, to trust without proof. That's the quiet power of transformation. So rest in the rhythm. Let time become your teacher. While the world rushes, you'll remain anchored. And one day, when the fullness of time arrives, you'll understand that patience wasn't punishment, it was preparation for a glory that doesn't fade. Patience is the language of eternity, and you're becoming fluent in it. Each heartbeat in stillness writes a sentence of trust, forming a prayer too deep for words yet clear enough for heaven to read. Time, once your enemy, now feels like an ally. You no longer fear its passing, you walk with it, knowing every moment carries a hidden mercy shaping you quietly. And when at last promise meets patience, you'll see it, the divine symmetry of a plan that never wasted a single waiting day. You can feel it now, the air around you shifting, the unseen gears of heaven beginning to turn. You are no longer standing in preparation, you are standing in fulfillment. Everything that has been refined, delayed, and purified is aligning at once. The spiritual atmosphere is dense with purpose, like the air before rain. Something long promised is about to pour. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit knows. There's a hum beneath your heartbeat, a sense of divine momentum that can't be explained by logic. The wait was long, but not wasted. Heaven never forgets the obedience of its chosen ones. Every yes whispered in the dark has summoned this moment. The scriptures speak of this very hour in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. You are living in that appointed time. The vision you carried quietly is beginning to unfold publicly. What once existed only as prayer is now materializing as proof. God never forgot His word over your life. He was simply preparing the stage so that when the curtain rose, no one could doubt the divine hand behind it. This is not the beginning of something fragile. This is the unveiling of something unbreakable. You have been prepared for this exact alignment, the place where calling meets confirmation, where faith meets fruition. The wind of change is no longer approaching. It's here. You can feel it brushing against your spirit like dawn touching the horizon. And yet, heaven asks you not to rush the moment. Pause and recognize it for what it is, a holy fulfillment, not just an answered prayer. You are standing in prophecy, breathing inside what was once only a promise. This is sacred ground. There is one simple way heaven often marks such moments: through symbolic obedience. Not grand gestures, but small, prophetic signs that seal the spiritual reality you've stepped into. Today, you are invited into one such act. As a sign of alignment with what heaven is releasing, type the number 999 below. This is not superstition, it's symbolism. 9 is the number of completion, fulfillment, and spiritual maturity. 999 represents the triple seal of divine finality, the end of one cycle, the perfection of purpose, and the readiness for resurrection. When you release that number, you're declaring, "It is finished. I am ready for what's next." The first 9 signifies the end of striving, the closing of old chapters that no longer serve your growth. The second 9 signifies the fulfillment of purpose, the realization of promises that have matured through patience. The third 9 signifies rebirth through completion, the emergence of new beginnings that rise from the ashes of what's done. Together, 999 forms the divine rhythm of closure and resurrection. It's not just an ending, it's heaven's whisper: you've learned what you needed. Now step forward renewed. When you type 999, you are agreeing with heaven's timing. You're saying, "I release what's finished and receive what's fulfilled." You're letting go of cycles that have taught their lessons and welcoming the new anointing waiting on the other side. It's the sound of closure echoing through eternity, the song that marks transition into purpose realized. Chosen one. This isn't merely a reward for endurance, it's a revelation of identity. Heaven now recognizes you as one who completed the test without losing tenderness, who endured without bitterness, who learned without pride. You carry the fragrance of finishing well. The long season of almost is over. The hovering is done. What you were waiting for is waiting for you now. The frequency of heaven has shifted in your favor, and all creation is responding. Even silence feels different. It's no longer absence, but announcement. So type 999 not as a routine action, but as a sacred agreement. Let it stand as a monument between you and heaven, a digital altar that says, "My old season is complete, and my new one begins now." Then breathe deeply. Feel the peace settle like sunlight after rain. You are standing inside fulfillment, crowned with the quiet glory of completion. And as the old echoes fade, new melodies begin, gentle notes of peace rising from places once filled with fear. Heaven rewrites your song, and this time, every verse carries harmony, not hesitation. You've reached the threshold where endings become beginnings, where rest turns into revelation. Nothing is lost. Everything is transformed by completion's fire. The world feels different now, doesn't it? It's as if something invisible has been lifted from your shoulders. And for the first time, you can stand without shaking. What you've entered is not just another stage of faith, it's awareness. The weight of survival has given way to the rhythm of purpose. You're no longer fighting to exist, you're learning to live. It's strange how peace feels heavy at first. You've been conditioned to brace for impact, to flinch at calm as though it's the silence before another storm. But this stillness isn't warning, it's restoration. God quiets everything around you so you can hear what's been whispering all along. You made it. You've crossed through the fire and come out refined. The scriptures remind us through the words of the prophet Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people, and they will say, the Lord is our God. Those words are no longer abstract, they're your lived truth. You've been tested, not to expose weakness, but to reveal endurance. Every hidden tear, every private battle, every prayer uttered through clenched teeth, they've all been ingredients in your transformation. The refining wasn't punishment, it was promotion. You are now pure enough to hold what once would have crushed you. Look closely and you'll notice subtle shifts in your life. Conversations feel lighter. Burdens that once defined you no longer fit. You forgive faster. Breathe slower and think clearer. That's not detachment, it's deliverance. You are no longer responding from wounds, you're responding from wisdom. The same experiences that once haunted you have now become holy teachers. You've learned that not everyone who walks away is a loss, and not every delay is denial. You've come to see divine timing not as mystery, but as mercy. The longer road taught you more than shortcuts ever could. Every disappointment was actually an answered prayer in disguise, one that protected you from what you weren't ready to handle. And so, you stand here now, steady, stronger, softer. This is what divine balance looks like: strength that doesn't need to prove itself, compassion that doesn't collapse under pressure. You are beginning to understand that humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself accurately. You see your own power clearly now, but you know where it comes from. There's a quiet confidence that marks those who've survived divine refinement. It isn't arrogance, it's awareness. You walk differently when you realize the same fire that tried to destroy you actually made you shine. You carry that glow now, the kind that can't be hidden, the kind that turns ordinary rooms into sacred ground. This new stage of your journey is not about striving, it's about stewardship. The blessings coming toward you will require wisdom to maintain. What's being entrusted to you is not merely reward, it's responsibility. Heaven gives increase only to those who've proven they won't let abundance replace reverence. So God begins teaching you a new rhythm. The rhythm of rest that multiplies results. The rhythm of grace that sustains greatness. You start realizing that divine productivity is not about constant motion, but about consistent alignment. You're learning when to move and when to be still, when to speak and when to let silence preach louder than words. This is maturity, the moment when you stop asking why me and start asking what now. The question changes because the posture has changed. You're no longer the victim of your circumstances, you're the vessel of purpose. Every scar has turned into strategy, every pain into perspective. Chosen one, the refining was never about breaking you, it was about revealing you. The fire has done its work, the ashes have settled, and what remains is gold-tested, tempered, trustworthy. You are not who you were, and that's the greatest evidence of transformation. From this point forward, you walk as one who knows that divine process never wastes pain. You walk lighter, but you carry weight, the kind that comes from knowing you've been chosen not only to endure, but to enlighten. The glow around your life is not decoration, it's declaration. I've been through the fire, and I am not the same. Gold doesn't apologize for shining, it simply reflects what it survived. You too are proof that endurance refines beauty. Your very presence now carries the quiet brilliance of becoming whole. Every breath you take now testifies grace won. The fire bowed, and purpose stood. Your scars no longer ache. They illuminate the path for those still walking through darkness. There is a stillness that comes after transformation, a silence not of emptiness but of wholeness. You've reached that space now. It feels unfamiliar because, for so long, peace was something you chased. Now it has found you, and you're learning how to live inside it. The noise that once filled your mind has faded into something softer, something sacred. This isn't the calm before a storm, it's the calm after one. The peace that proves you've passed through fire and come out as light. Everything around you may look the same, but you are not the same. The world hasn't changed. Your perception has. You now see meaning in places you once overlooked, the way the morning light filters through a curtain, the laughter that breaks through fatigue, the quiet moments where nothing happens but everything feels alive. Awareness has become your altar. Gratitude, your unspoken prayer. The scriptures echo this inner stillness in the book of Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. That verse is a promise he's not done. The transformation you feel is not final, it's unfolding. You've entered the stage of becoming the sacred in-between, where completion is both present and in progress. You are a living testimony that wholeness is not a destination but a rhythm, one that flows through days both ordinary and divine. Now, you notice how patience no longer feels like waiting. It feels like wisdom. You no longer strive for control. You surrender for clarity. You've learned that peace is not a luxury, it's your birthright as one aligned with heaven. Each time you choose stillness over reaction, you honor that birthright. Each time you choose compassion over pride, you manifest divinity in motion. The old self lived in reaction. The new self moves in response. That difference is subtle yet seismic. Reaction is survival, response is awareness. The person you are now doesn't scramble to be seen. They rest in being known by heaven, by self, by purpose. You no longer need applause to confirm identity. Peace has already done that. You've learned to guard your atmosphere the way a priest guards sacred fire. You understand that not every conversation deserves entry. Not every battle deserves your breath. Discernment has become your defense. Where once you poured endlessly into everyone, you now pour strategically, led by peace rather than pressure. This is not selfishness, it's stewardship. Even your energy has become a form of prayer. And in this awareness, you begin to recognize divine patterns, repeating lessons arriving not as punishment, but as reminders. God doesn't test you to expose weakness. He allows repetition to reveal mastery. Each situation that once triggered fear now triggers faith. Each delay that once caused frustration now deepens gratitude. You are being rewired for resilience. Chosen one. This quiet phase of your journey is not small, it's sacred. Heaven often hides its greatest works in seasons that look uneventful. You are not paused. You are preserved. Your peace is your protection. Your boundaries, your blessing. What you protect now will sustain what you're called to carry later. You might find that people respond differently to you now. Some will be drawn by your calm. Others will misinterpret it as distance. Let them. You no longer exist to be understood. You exist to be aligned. Your peace will speak louder than explanations ever could. Those meant to walk with you will feel the rhythm of your grace and adjust their steps accordingly. There's beauty in this quiet chapter. It's where revelation replaces noise, where divine wisdom whispers through ordinary days. You'll find God in laughter, in rest, in slow mornings, in the pulse of your own breathing. You no longer chase mountaintop moments because you've realized holiness lives in the mundane too. So rest without guilt, create without hurry, love without fear. Let peace be the loudest sermon your life ever preaches. You are no longer trying to become light, you are light, steady and whole. The journey has not ended, it has evolved into harmony. You have entered the rhythm of divine breath. Inhale purpose, exhale peace. Every movement, even stillness, now becomes worship. You don't force light anymore, you simply allow it to exist through you. Joy no longer depends on outcomes, it grows from awareness. Gratitude has become your gravity, keeping you centered while the world still spins in chaos. You've learned to orbit grace alone. Peace is no longer fragile, it's fluent. You speak it without words, radiate it without effort. You've become a living translation of heaven's language on earth. Somewhere deep inside, you already know this journey was never just about survival. It was about remembering who you are beneath all the noise, all the roles, all the striving. You've been walking toward the version of yourself that heaven wrote long before you ever took your first breath. And now, standing here, you can feel it, the alignment, the peace, the quiet majesty of becoming whole. The night that once felt endless has finally softened into dawn. You're no longer searching for signs in the sky. The light has taken residence within you. You've become the evidence of answered prayer, the living reflection of grace fulfilled. And though the world still rushes, you move differently now. You walk slower, listen deeper, love truer. The scriptures remind us in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. This is not a command to perform, it's an invitation to be. Your life has become the sermon you once tried to preach. You no longer have to force people to see the divine. They feel it in your presence. Light doesn't argue with darkness, it simply reveals. And you, chosen one, are revelation walking. You've been through enough shadow to appreciate the weight of illumination. You've carried heartbreak that turned into empathy, loss that turned into wisdom, silence that turned into song. Every scar now sings, and every tear has become ink in the story of redemption. You are not what you endured. You are what you learned from it. This moment, the one you're in right now, is sacred. It's not the ending of your journey, it's the awakening of your influence. You're beginning to realize that your transformation was never meant to stay private. The light you carry is meant to travel. It's the nature of illumination it reaches. If these words have touched something deep in you, let that recognition move gently outward. Like this moment, the way sunlight touches water quietly, reverently. To like here is to honor the reflection, to say, yes, I see the light in this. It's a gesture of gratitude, a silent bow to the truth that met you here. And when your heart feels stirred to pass this light onward, let it flow like the wind moves through trees freely, naturally. That is what it means to share. You are not promoting a message, you are carrying a flame. Somewhere, another weary soul waits for the warmth you now hold. And if something inside you wants to respond, to whisper back to the light that found you here, let your words fall softly below like petals on still water. That's what it means to comment. It isn't noise, it's resonance. When you leave a trace of thought or gratitude, you're not speaking to the algorithm, you're speaking to eternity. Every sincere word becomes a ripple of connection that reminds the unseen world light still travels through willing hearts. Then, when you feel the pull to return again, to sit in this sacred stillness, to listen, to breathe, to remember, follow the path of light back. That quiet return is what it means to subscribe. It's not obligation, it's continuation. The soul always returns to the places it recognizes as home. This space, the words, the silence between them is not merely digital, it's sacred architecture. Every gesture of engagement is a brushstroke of connection, building invisible bridges between hearts. What you do here echoes beyond the screen. When you respond, you're not reacting, you're resonating. You are part of a divine tapestry, threads of light weaving through time. Each acknowledgement, each reflection strengthens the pattern. You are not a spectator to this journey, you are a participant in its unfolding. So take this moment slowly. Let every sentence settle like soft rain on your spirit. You don't have to rush to the next thing. The miracle is already happening in your breathing, in your awareness, in your willingness to feel. When you leave this space, carry the calm with you. Let it spill into the way you speak, the way you forgive, the way you show up. You are now a keeper of peace, a bearer of light, a living reflection of divine gentleness. And as you move through your days, remember every quiet act of kindness, every word spoken in love, every moment of truth is a ripple that continues what began here. The light multiplies not through command but through consent. It grows in hearts that choose it freely. Like, share, comment, subscribe. 4 simple gestures. 4 sacred metaphors: acknowledgement, generosity, resonance, and return. Not for me, but for the light within you that's ready to travel farther. You can feel the weight of completion in the air. It's quiet, sacred, and almost tender. This isn't exhaustion, it's fulfillment. You've reached a place that feels both new and ancient, like stepping into a memory that your soul always knew existed. Everything you've endured, every moment you almost gave up, has led you here to this calm, this clarity, this knowing. The world still moves with chaos, but you found the still point inside the storm. What used to shake you now feels small, almost distant. That's not apathy, it's alignment. You've outgrown reaction, and now you move with reason born of revelation. You've become fluent in peace. The scriptures describe this state beautifully in the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15. In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. Those words no longer sound poetic, they sound like breath. You understand now that salvation was never just rescue, it was restoration. It was the gentle hand of God turning chaos into composure, anxiety into assurance. You have learned to trust the quiet, and in doing so, you've learned to trust yourself again. Look around you, the same world that once drained you now feels lighter. The same road that once terrified you now feels like home. That's what divine perspective does. It doesn't change the landscape, it changes your vision. The mountains didn't shrink, you grew taller. You're beginning to see that peace is not an escape from life, but a deeper participation in it. It's being present without panic, open without fear, and anchored without resistance. This peace is not borrowed, it's built. It came from nights of questioning, from tears that baptized you into maturity, from prayers that became practice. Chosen one, you've become the kind of soul that heaven can trust. Not because you're perfect, but because you're pliable. You've allowed grace to shape you, truth to stretch you, and time to temper you. That flexibility is strength disguised as gentleness. You bend but do not break. You yield but do not lose ground. You've become like water, reflective, adaptable, unstoppable. There's a beauty in this season that cannot be explained to those who haven't walked through refining. They may see calm and call it complacency, but you know better. Stillness isn't stagnation, it's sovereignty. It's the authority that comes from knowing you don't need to prove what God has already declared. The person you've become carries an invisible weight of wisdom. You no longer rush to speak, you wait to understand. You listen more than you defend, love more than you expect, forgive faster than you forget. These are the quiet miracles of maturity, the fruit that grows only after fire has passed. And in this stillness, something profound is happening. You are beginning to dream again. But this time, your dreams aren't born from desperation, they're born from devotion. You no longer chase visions out of fear of missing out. You receive them as invitations. You no longer pray to escape pain, you pray to embody peace. This is what wholeness looks like. It's creative, not reactive. You've stopped asking God to remove every mountain. Now you ask for better shoes to climb them. That shift is everything. It's the sign of a spirit that has matured beyond miracles into mastery. You've realized that the goal was never to avoid difficulty, but to walk through it carrying light. The fire you faced didn't burn you, it branded you with purpose. Every scar now glows faintly in the dark, a reminder that you've been trusted with trials and turned them into testimony. You carry proof of divine craftsmanship in every part of your being. There's a gentle power in your presence now. People may not know why they feel peace when you enter a room, but heaven does. You've become an instrument tuned to the frequency of grace. You don't need to announce it, your energy preaches it. And as this awareness deepens, you realize that the journey isn't ending, it's expanding. You are stepping into a wider horizon, carrying not exhaustion but enlightenment. The lessons you've learned have become light posts for others still finding their way. This is what divine maturity feels like, not grand, not loud, but steady and luminous. You are no longer chasing purpose, you are being purpose. Every breath you take now affirms it. The war is over. The lesson is learned, the peace is real. Rest in that truth. You've earned this calm not by striving but by surrendering. You are finally standing in the place your spirit has been searching for, all along the center of God's will, where stillness speaks louder than thunder. It's quiet now, the kind of quiet that doesn't feel empty but eternal. You've walked the long road through battle, through silence, through fire and through light, and you've arrived at the place every chosen one eventually reaches, peace with purpose. It's not the absence of storms, but the realization that even storms obey the hand that guides you. Everything that once terrified you has turned into testimony, every wound into wisdom, every loss into legacy. This stillness you feel isn't the end, it's the beginning of understanding. You can look back now without pain. The path behind you glows faintly, each scar marking a place where heaven intervened. You see it clearly, nothing was wasted. Even the detours were design, every delay divine. What once felt like wandering was actually choreography. You were never lost. You were being led by an unseen rhythm, one that beats perfectly in time with your destiny. The scriptures whisper this sacred truth in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. That verse is no longer a promise you cling to, it's the reality you live in. You can trace its truth across your story like constellations in the night sky. Every pain had purpose, every silence had structure, and every tear watered a harvest you're only now beginning to see. You've become evidence that redemption isn't a theory, it's a pattern. You've learned that divine alignment doesn't always look like comfort. Sometimes it looks like being stripped until only truth remains. But now, clothed in that truth, you walk lighter, you move slower, not from fatigue, but from reverence. You no longer rush what is holy. You've learned to live at the pace of peace. The world still buzzes around you, loud, restless, frantic, but you exist differently now. You live from the inside out. Your decisions come from discernment, not demand. You choose silence over spectacle, connection over control. That's what divine maturity looks like. It's not visible to the untrained eye, but heaven recognizes it instantly. You've become what you once prayed for, a vessel that doesn't leak under pressure. Your capacity has expanded through trial, and your spirit has grown tender through truth. You've learned the balance between strength and surrender, between knowing when to speak and when to let love speak for you. You've become fluent in grace. There's something beautifully paradoxical about where you stand now. You're both weightless and grounded, both humble and royal, both fragile and unbreakable. You carry heaven's quiet authority, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself, because creation already recognizes it. You are no longer fighting to prove who you are. You're simply being what you were always meant to be. Every lesson has settled into your spirit like sediment at the bottom of clear water, no longer murky, just still. You can finally see the reflection of heaven in your own eyes without flinching. You've accepted that the divine didn't just visit you, it lives in you. You are, and always have been, a living temple of light. And now comes the gentle revelation that your journey was never just about you. The strength you've built will hold others. The peace you found will calm storms in hearts that haven't yet arrived. You are becoming a lighthouse for souls still wandering through waves, a reminder that there is shore beyond the struggle. Chosen. One. This is the moment when purpose turns into legacy. The light within you no longer needs to prove its existence, it simply illuminates. You don't have to try to change the world. You change it just by standing in truth. Your life has become a living translation of grace, a quiet scripture written in motion. You've reached the horizon not to stop, but to begin again wiser, lighter, freer. This peace is not a resting place, it's a launching point. The world still needs the light you carry, and heaven will continue to breathe through you in ways both ordinary and divine. So take this calm and walk forward. You have become everything the fire intended you to be: whole, holy, and human. The journey has done its work. You have not just survived it, you have been sanctified by it. The chapter closes, but the story continues in light, in legacy, in love. You are not the same traveler who began this path. The dust of your journey has turned to gold beneath your feet, and every step now glows with quiet purpose fulfilled. What once was searching has become seeing. What once was longing has become love. You have not reached the end, you have reached eternity in motion. So here you are, the end that feels like a beginning, standing in the soft glow of everything you've become. The words may stop here, but the story does not. You have walked through wilderness, silence, refining revelation, and now you stand wrapped in peace, a peace you didn't chase, but one that found you when you finally stopped running. Look at how far you've come. The strength that was once scattered now gathers quietly inside you. The light that flickered now burns steady. You are no longer reaching for hope. You are hope in motion. Every heartbeat says it. You made it through what was meant to break you, and you became unbreakable instead. This space, these words, this moment, it's not mine anymore. It's yours. Take it. Keep it. Let it remind you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. Let it whisper when the noise gets loud, you are still chosen and you are still light. And if something inside you feels stirred, if your spirit feels recognized here, let that recognition move through your fingertips. Like this space, the way a candle leans toward flame softly, willingly, because something in it feels familiar. If you felt light return to your heart, let it ripple outward, gentle as dawn spilling over water. That is what it means to share. When you pass light forward, it multiplies, it becomes memory, comfort, and confirmation for someone else's storm. And when your heart has something to say, even if it's just a word or a sigh, let it fall below like a prayer resting on open ground. That's what it means to comment. You're not adding noise, you're adding presence. You're telling heaven, I was here, I heard, then. If your soul ever hungers again for stillness, return here. Subscribe not as a task, but as a rhythm, a gentle coming home to where your spirit breathes easy. This place will wait for you like peace always waits for those who seek it. Carry the calm with you now. Let it color your words, soften your gaze, and steady your pace. You've become light in human form, and every quiet act of love will continue what began here. Like, share, comment, subscribe. 4 simple gestures, 4 sacred echoes: gratitude, generosity, communion, and return. The light is in you now. Carry it forward.